Live from LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, or X, and Twitch. It's Revening's Whiskey Wednesday. Welcome to Whiskey Wednesday, revenue party people. We've got hot prizes, hot topics, and hot guests we're going to introduce you to here in just a second. What's up, David? Would love to know where you are all tuning in from. If you do have any issues on LinkedIn tonight, just head on over to YouTube. We can drop those links in the comments if you would like to. But really quick, before we get into all of these hot topics with our amazing guest tonight, what's up, Mark? Great to see you. Let's get into what we've got to cover tonight. So I think you saw in the intro video, you can comment these keywords, and I'll put this up throughout the show tonight, to enter to win the prizes we have tonight. And I'll show you those here in just a moment. Hey, Renee. These are the topics we're covering. So we have Melanie Borden with us, everyone. So we're going to be learning and leveling up about LinkedIn and personal branding. And then we have Chris Daly coming in with us, and he's talking to us about machine learning and AI in our growth. So we all need to be embracing this. I know you are. Who here, put in one if you're using AI in your day-to-day. Would love to know who you are. But yeah, put one in the comments if you are using AI every day. And two, if you are not. If you're not there yet, if it's not a part of your day-to-day, we want to talk to you. We want to turn that 2, maybe even into a 1. You never know. But we'll get into that. You'll also see this up throughout the show tonight. And this is just to show you like what prizes you're entering as you're entering to win those. Because we got some feedback at some of the after parties that if people join late and they don't see this whole spiel about what they're entering to win, then they don't know what they're entering to win. So I'll have this up throughout the show. I'll also have these 4 QR codes that you'll see flashing around throughout the show. One's a free Latote. If you like the clothes I wear, you can get a free box sent to you. If you like the clothes, you get a discount on designer clothes. If you don't like it, you simply send it back, but you can get your first box free. Scan the free Latote QR code. There's a tip jar. I love getting tips from the audience. You all are awesome. You requested this, and I love to share it with you. And then I use StreamYard. If you like what you see tonight, I am using StreamYard to produce this show, and then I coach on StreamYard how to go live, how to repurpose it to a podcast, which Whiskey Wednesday is a podcast as well. But scan this QR code, and you get a little bit of a a discount on your StreamYard, and then I get a little bit of a cut as well. And then Cherry Assistant. Everything that you see tonight has been done with the help of Renee, who is here in the comments. What's up, Renee? Everyone, please give Renee some love. She's with Cherry Assistant, a virtual assistant, and she helps me with the show. She's now helping us full time. So as you'll see, everything's a lot more seamless here at Whiskey Wednesday. Thank you to Cherry Assistant. And we're lucky because we're giving away some Cherry Assistant tonight. So hashtag marketing, when you enter hashtag marketing into the comments tonight, you're entering to win 1 week free in my Taking Up Space group coaching program, which is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. We're meeting for 1 hour. We're going over marketing strategy. We're going over leadership. We're going over MarTech. We're going over LinkedIn. So all of this with LinkedIn accountability kind of baked in throughout all of those days. Just come and join us for 1 week if you put hashtag marketing. And then if you want to build some blogs aren't going anywhere, everyone. OpenAI is going to be doing another scan. You're going to want to make sure that you have content out there on the internet. So use Kiwi Writer. It's an AI tool to help you write your blogs. And I'm going to go ahead and bring in Lydia. What's up, Lydia?
Hello, revenue party people. I'm so sad I missed you guys last week, but thanks for all the well wishes. I'm doing so much better. Quick reminder. Wait, sorry, what am I doing? Sponsorship?
No, I'm just bringing you up. Thank you for saying that. But yeah, I'm glad you're back. We missed you last week. But for prize 2, if they tag Cherry Assistant, you're getting 30 minutes with DJ Kim. But I'm going to pull this one up, Queen, so you can tell us about prize 3.
Prize 3 for the rest of this month, you'll get the cold email course from the Ruby Project for free. Next month, we'll give you the cold calling course, so something to look forward to. Jake is giving away BuzzBuilder for 6 months. He's got an amazing tool. And then obviously Cherry Assistant, if you want your very own Renee. Maybe she won't be as good as Renee, but you can get 10 hours with your own VA there too.
Love that. And you got a little bit muffled there. Hopefully everybody heard her.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Is this better?
Fix the mic. That is better. For prize 4, if you tag luna.ai, you're going to get 3 months free on their platform, which is another AI tool to help you with your cold email. And I'm going to be honest, I've booked some really great calls with cold email in the last few weeks. So thanks to all the people who I've met. If you're tuning in and I have connected with you over a cold email, I'm using really cool tools like BuzzBuilder that you saw earlier on prize 2 that you're entering to win 6 months with. But there's also Luna AI, which is using AI to help you with all of this. And then, of course, some Grove Cookies. Thank you, Grove Cookie Company, and all of our awesome sponsors for making tonight happen and for believing in Whiskey Wednesday. We really appreciate them. If anyone here in the comments would like any information about any of the sponsors, I would love to connect you with them. Just let me know. Send me a DM, and let's get into prize 5. Hashtag email will enter you to win 1 year free with Lavender. This is another AI tool. We've got lots of AI tools, but this one's helping you with your tone, with the wording of your cold emails. And I'm going to go ahead and bring Lydia back up here because she's using this a lot. And what would you say about hashtag email and hashtag headset, Lydia?
I love Lavender. It's no secret that I'm a user, and I teach writing cold emails, but I still rely on Lavender to help me cut it down, to make sure that my tone is right, to not sound so articulate, which is really harder than you would think. Prize 6 is the headset. Everybody just loves that headset from Headset Advisor, so you guys definitely want to enter to that one. Topher, don't you dare.
Definitely enter to win the headset, and then we'll connect you with Headset Advisor, and they will send you a headset. So we're almost through the prizes. So prize 7, 30 minutes with the Wishley group. You're not going to want to miss this one. Anish, you'll see him on our intermission here. He'll give us a brief little explanation of what you get in the 30 minutes, but he was on the show a few weeks ago. He is a founding member of Rev Genius. He's ex-Pinterest, ex-Coca-Cola, and he's helping some of the biggest creators on LinkedIn level up. So you might as well just get 30 minutes with him. And prize 8, we will let our guests share this at the end of the show about what you're entering to win here. But hashtag sales enters you to win our guest prizes, which is 1 boat tote and pen, and then access to the Commerce Academy from Chris Daly. And then, of course, next week is Thanksgiving. But the day
Woohoo.
before, we'll do a recording from last year where we had on Lauren. If Lauren's here, what's up, Lauren? She comes every so often. But last year, we had on Troy, Alexine, and Ryan on the show. So we'll have them back on the show just with a recording for next week because I will be celebrating Thanksgiving. And then the following week, we will be having on, let's see, this is December 6th. Yeah, that's when we'll have on Joanne Gore, who sent me her book. And I'm trying to read through it before she comes on, Thriving in Chaos. And then Thomas, we're having him on as well. Make sure you're following them. Both very interesting. Thomas is using some interesting audio. And if you know Chili Piper, you know Arthur Castillo. He is doing some excellent things with live streaming and showing us all what to do. And then there's also Austin, and he's with 2X. So we've got some other great guests coming on, but without further ado, let's bring in our awesome guests for today. We've got Chris and Melanie with us. Thank you so much for joining.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yes. So I'm going to just get into it and pull our 2 minutes up on the clock. Chris, can we start with you? Could you tell everyone, your whole story? That like this, people want to know your founder story. Like, where were you born? How did you what's your story? And how did you end up to where you are now? And then also, how are you helping people?
I'm a lot older than all of you people, so if I had 2 minutes to tell my story, I'd be dead by now. So actually, the interesting part of my story is that I've kind of been in marketing and sales for 30 years, but I started looking at databases when I was very young because I could actually write code on a Commodore 64. And it was the first time I actually made a screen turn multiple colors just from a piece of RBasic. So I thought it was kind of fun. Database marketing ended up being the discipline that I went into. I worked for a company called Alliance Data. It's now called Bread Financial, I guess. I'm not sure why. Here in town, and we ran the database marketing operations for this small company called L Brands. They had about 17 retail brands at the time, included Abercrombie and Fitch, et cetera. That's where I really honed my skills on database marketing, understanding databases, database structures, but also visualizing customer behavior in data. And it was really, really an interesting thing because it was also the first time I was exposed to machine learning. We built advanced customer personas and profile models for some of these brands so that they could target their communications and be more relevant by understanding different types of buyers within their commerce sets. And just recently, I started up a company called I Want That. I Want That is a company that offers customer-generated offers. So what we're going to do is enable consumers to make offers to merchants to buy shopping carts online, regardless of the platform. So we've started on Shopify, just turned everything over today, actually this morning. We started on Shopify and we're working with merchants now to help them understand how to price so that they can engage with customers to either have them purchase a shopping cart or purchase before they even abandon. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to apply some machine learning to help merchants do a better job of pricing and how they can negotiate and automate offers and counter offers. So there's a lot of work coming up, and that's what I'm going to share with you today.
That is so cool. Yes, I love watching your progress with what's the company name again?
I Want That.
I Want That.
You gotta see the finger, man. The finger is the best.
I keep wanting to say this is that, but no, I Want That. No, it's really cool. Yeah, so he's doing big things there. And Melanie's also doing really big things with human to brand. And it's just, we're going to put the 2 minutes back up on the clock. And Melanie, can you fill it in? I know you've been on the show before, but for those who haven't met you, could you just start from the beginning, just like with Chris, and tell us a little bit about where you came from and what led you to this?
Sure, I can do that in 2 minutes, I think.
No pressure.
I have a tendency to talk and talk and talk, so it's good to have a timer. So my name is Melanie Borden, and I started the Borden Group in 2021. Prior to me starting my consulting agency, I was working in marketing, and I actually was working in the automotive vertical for my entire career, working in both sales, business development, and marketing. My last role was actually at a MarTech company working as the VP of marketing. And I had built a LinkedIn presence during the pandemic. During the pandemic, I kept having this feeling like something was going to happen. About 95% of the company I worked for was all laid off. And I wasn't, because I was considered to be part of the essential team. Flash forward, I decided to start implementing a training that we had done internally for about 80 sales reps and business development center. And I just started executing on it when everyone was laid off, and started posting on LinkedIn every day, developed a presence for myself, and the rest is history, as they say. But LinkedIn has really created an agency for me, because what started happening in my last role was so many people, executives, founders, C-suite, kept coming to me and saying, Melanie, can you do for me what you do for yourself? Can you do that for me? And so lo and behold, I made the jump. I left my job and I decided to start an agency. Originally, that wasn't my plan. I wanted to just be a solopreneur, but I kept receiving so much inbound leads from those in my network that it turned into that. And here we are today, and we work with executives, we work with executive teams on synchronized messaging, and we work with businesses of all types on specifically LinkedIn.
Awesome. Such an awesome story, Melanie. I always love having you on here. And let me make sure I change the background so we're not covering up anyone's face. But Melanie, we have this thing on the bottom, the ticker, the $30 monthly discount to human development community. Could you tell our listeners a little bit about that?
Yes, absolutely. So I can't work with everyone. And so what I decided to do is, because there's only so much time in a day, and I'm only one person, and I have 2 kids and agency, and I want to be involved in everything. So I made the decision a couple months ago to launch a community and course that essentially teaches someone from start to finish how to build their brand. And not just limited to LinkedIn, but for life, how to build their brand online. And so there are courses and there's community. We do live sessions twice a month. And we also provide exclusive content that I do not share anywhere else other than within the community. And we've been growing. We just launched at the end of September. We've had a really great response. And the members that have joined the community month have just had the most astounding results. One of the members, she started with LinkedIn about 5 weeks ago, and she's had a growth of about 1,000 followers per week. And she's also like 100x her lead volume that has come in through LinkedIn. And we've really just been able to see people who not necessarily can hire an agency, but they still want to have access. So myself, my team, we're in the community. We're uploading new content every month for the courses. And we go through everything from, how to build your visual identity to how to take photos for LinkedIn or other social platforms to how do you optimize your profile, and essentially teaching our services to the community.
I love that. Well, thank you so much for sharing, and thank you for sharing that with the Whiskey Wednesday audience. I think we're very lucky to have that offer. So definitely take her up on that and join the community. But let's get into these hot topics before we run out of time. So harnessing AI, potential and real world application. Chris, can you kick us off?
Yeah, unless you were under a rock, you've probably heard a little bit about AI, maybe so much so that you're ready to hurl. And it's kind of interesting because really up until about really almost a year ago, right about now, people just said AI and kind of just didn't really listen to it. Then OpenAI popped onto the scene, and now everybody's talking about artificial intelligence. And if you are kind of a science fiction nerd, you might have seen certain artificial intelligence in like robots, and maybe if you're a Star Trek fan where you could talk to a computer and it would fly your spaceship, you think those things are kind of weird, except we're actually getting closer and closer to those things than you think. So a lot of the things that you're looking at now, that Luna and some of the others, these are called generative models. And the generative models are basically taking content and they're helping you improve your content. They're fed by other content so that they learn your writing style. They learn how to improve your writing style. They learn how to mimic your writing style, even your voice. That's kind of what Lavender does. And so there's a lot of those tools out there. There are tools that can take images and create new images for you, that can go through and generate them in a different style. So if you look at some of the featured images we use on our site, they are all in the style of Monet, just because they're going to look unique. Most people don't use featured images that look like Monet art, and ours does, just because we wanted something to look different. So there's a lot of that going on in artificial intelligence, but some of the bigger pieces that are coming out that are really, really ones to watch are the ones where you can make it do something. And what I mean by do something is the ability to say, hey, HubSpot, can you go through and give me a report that shows me the top 20% of our customers by revenue from last year? And it'll do it. It'll produce the report. It'll show you the report. It can email you the report. It's when it can do those things for you that you'll see a lot more benefit. And it's not that there's not a lot of benefit in the generative AI right now. Tons of startups in it. Y Combinator is just full of AI stuff right now. But AI is really it's kind of like the common thing now. So it just took us about, well, let's see, OpenAI came out in November of last year. So it's November of this year. So within the course of 12 months, even companies like Adobe all had AI products. Everybody had products come out. The other interesting thing that's coming out, OpenAI just introduced this the other day, is called a GPT. And a GPT is basically like a personal assistant for you. And those GPT builders, you can go and configure your own GPT and train it on your daily tasks. So it can learn how to do emails for you. It can learn how to do updating your databases in your CRM for you. It can learn and do an awful lot of things like that. So those GPTs just got introduced a week or two ago, I think it was. Those are things that as a solopreneur or an entrepreneur, you want to embrace those. And they might be $20 a month or whatever, but they're the best $20 you'll spend because you'll be able to tell it to do things and it'll learn how you do things. If you have, say, QuickBooks for running your business, their AI bot is going to help you manage your books. It's going to help you close your books. It's going to help you balance your books. Those are things that usually took a lot of time and now they don't. And that's probably one of the better parts of AI. One of the other interesting tools that came out was Shopify's AI. They have a Shopify Assist bot that came out. And if you're selling and you're using a Shopify store, you can say, hey, can you discontinue this promotion? Can you move these products onto the homepage? Take this collection and move it over here and disconnect, reformat the page to look like X, and it'll go do it. And those are the things that we're looking for, right? We're looking for AI tools that will help you be much more productive. And it's what we were just talking earlier. We call it a force multiplier. Instead of you having somebody go design your site, you can tell the bot to design your site. You can tell the bot to design a WordPress site. You can tell a bot to design a Shopify store, etc. So those are the things that I think you'll really see a lot of at the end of this year and coming into next year. And the other one that I'm really looking forward to, because OpenAI does have this, something called Whisper, where you can actually talk to it. And to me, that's the game changer, right? So pay attention to those things. Those are the things that are coming in artificial intelligence right now that could really, really impact your business and how you work with customers and just be more productive and get more stuff done.
Yeah. I mean, Melanie, I'll just pass it over to you. I know you're mentioning some different AI tools that you're constantly using. And anyone in the comments too, I would love to hear from you. What tools have you explored? There's so many new ones. Tag some of those AI tools. Yeah, Luna.ai is one of them. And thank you for mentioning them, Chris. But Melanie, what's your take on all of this?
AI is not going anywhere. If anything, it's just going to become more intertwined in our life. So we have to find a way to work with it. There's a creator that I follow. His name is Ruben Hassid, and he talks about AI all the time. And his take on it is learn AI before it learns you. So as an owner of an agency, I don't have a big team. So we constantly leverage AI tools. And we were just talking before about the video clip for the show. And me getting the MP4 from you because there's a tool that I use called Opus Clip. And Opus Clip is so easy that I taught my 9-year-old daughter how to use it. And she created a bunch of videos a couple of weeks ago on a Saturday when I was working, and she wanted to work with me. So, I mean, of course, she wasn't really working, but she thought that it was fun because they learn coding in school. And they're very interested. Kids are very interested in technology. And so I showed her how to use it. Meanwhile, it took me to, like 4 or 5 tries to learn how to use the platform. And she learned it in less than 4 minutes.
I love that.
But that's another really great platform that someone can use where you literally just drag and drop a video or you put a link in. And we use that. I use it now. I don't have a video editor on staff. And we use AI all the time. We use it for copywriting. We use it for creative. There are so many ways that you can use it where you're not relying on it. But I can also say that now that it's been more mainstream for the last few years, specifically with, creators on LinkedIn, I can easily identify, and I'm sure that Chris and Jesse, you guys can too, when someone does a post and you see like it has a specific cadence to it and a tone to it where you know that it's AI that wrote it. So it's great to use it as a tool to help you produce more, but I would never just purely rely on it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
That's a really good point.
Well,
And
there's a couple things just to throw in there. There's a couple things too out of that is that we had a lot of conversations about whether or not AI was going to kill SEO. And in fact, people are producing a ton of articles using AI and they're ranking in SEO. So it hasn't really killed SEO. It's sort of changed the game a little bit. But there's a couple of people on here, content creators, that'll talk about, we got a site that we put 5,000 articles together in about 6 weeks using AI, and it's all ranking. So it will work there. And there's even as a tool for you as an entrepreneur, there's a tool out there, I think it's called Byword. I think that's the name of it. Byword is actually built on Bubble. And Bubble's a no-code application where if you can design in Photoshop or something like that, you can design in Bubble. And what he did is he connected it to OpenAI, and he's got now a $7 million business running OpenAI as an editor for blog content. So as a solopreneur, you can use the AI to create a product as well. And that's really, really an important component to don't be afraid of those things. You can screw stuff up, but it's not a big deal. That's part of being an entrepreneur. You're going to screw stuff up. You should embrace those tools because they're easy to use. And those no code pieces are going to make you create apps that are just for your audience that you can monetize without spending your time, which is kind of what Melanie was talking about with the courses and the community, right? So that's what you're looking for to scale your business up.
yeah, I would just add, I mean, you said it perfectly, right? It's like use it to kind of scale and augment, but like Melanie said, not to replace anything you're doing because people can tell, number one, and number two, then it's not genuine and it's not really your brand. But definitely some fun things. I would love if you could share with us the list of things that you guys mentioned because I am not able to write them down fast enough.
Yeah, there were some people in the comments saying I didn't write all those down either. And thank you to Melinda, who's just been like tagging all these different tools.
Thank you, Melinda.
Yes, she's on your team, Melanie. She's awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if you had to list off your top 5 before I transition into the next topic, Melanie and Chris, what would be your top 5 favorite tools? We'll start with you, Melanie.
Okay, do they have to be AI tools or could they be any tool?
Oh, I guess anything.
Okay, so we use a site called Coolers. It's Coolers. Melinda, my employee / awesome person, is going to comment and she'll put everything in there. But it's Coolers, I think, .co. It's you basically can create palettes, color palettes. So that's our number one that we use all the time. Canva is another one. I know everyone thinks that Canva is, boring at this point, but Canva is constantly innovating and they have a lot of AI features in it. I mentioned Opus Clip before. The other one that we use a lot too is CoSchedule Analyzer, which does different writing features. And then I use ChatGPT a lot as well. Again, we use it kind of as a framework and then we edit through it and we add in tone of voice. I don't know how many was that? Was that 4 or 5? There's so many tools that we use. I mean,
they all have, every tool has it now. That's why it's like
I know.
If you're trying to create a piece of software today and you don't have AI baked in, you're done. Your software will be dead before it even gets in the market. It is the price of entry anymore. So like I'll give you an example with ChatGPT. I had a bunch of code that I wrote a long time ago. It was in MySQL. I needed to translate it to Postgres SQL, which is slightly different. Popped it into ChatGPT, out it came. I'm like, that saved me days. I translated 78 different pieces of code in 1 hour.
That's amazing.
Holy cow. So that for me are some of the things that help me when I'm trying to help people with databases that are on different platforms. I can migrate stuff that way. And again, we use a lot of ChatGPT for some of the generative AI. I think the other tools, Canva too, we use Canva an awful lot for some of our production of content. Canva seems to be a really, really good tool. I'm super excited. I think they're going to do their IPO in 2024, and I'm super excited for that because I think it's going to be a really good one. But there's so many out there. One of the things that we're going to do is we're going to end up writing our own machine learning. So it's going to be a little different, but we may use a couple of different tools like Python, et cetera, some other code tools on platforms to create our own AI, which we'll talk about a little bit later, called machine learning. So that's kind of where we're at today.
That's really cool. But Chris, if you maybe like your top 3 tools to share.
Oh, it's definitely Canva. It's OpenAI. And what else do I use that I really, really enjoy? I don't know. I have a couple of them that I use for Copilot. We use Copilot as well. It's part of GitHub. Because we write code. I have rudimentary JavaScript skills, but Copilot makes me look like a rock star. So I'm going and like, I'm trying to do this, and it's like, oh, stupid, it's like that. I'm like, thank you.
Oh my gosh.
So, I mean, I could literally write code. I mean, I've written JavaScript in ChatGPT and said, I want to create a page. And someone showed this the other day. They showed a rendering of a dashboard, just the rendering of it, gave it to this piece of software, and it actually created the dashboard with sample data behind it, and it worked. And I was like, holy cow. So
that's incredible.
There's a lot of good tools out there.
Very cool. Yeah, people are building tools with AI now. And with that, I'm going to transition into the power of personal brand. I'm really excited to hear from you on this one, Melanie, amplifying your professional presence. So what takeaways could you share with the Whiskey Wednesday audience?
I want everyone to start thinking about their LinkedIn page as a landing page, and the optimization opportunity. Just don't say that 5 times fast after drinking. The optimization opportunity that you have is massive. I'll tell you a quick story. So something that I recommend to everyone if they're stuck for content is to subscribe to Google Alerts. So if you work in a specific industry, if you're strong on a specific topic, or even if you're looking to get a better sense of what your competitors are doing or an industry that you want to be in, subscribe to Google Alerts. It's google.com/alerts. And so every day within 24 hours or so, Google will send you results for any new content that comes online. And so what started happening to me, because I get Google Alerts for myself, of course, and for my company. And so what started happening a couple months ago was I started getting Google Alerts for my LinkedIn posts. And so that blew me away, because normally I'll get, if a podcast goes out, or if I'm in an advertorial or some sort of feature, something online, blog, I'll get alerts for that. But I started getting alerts for my LinkedIn posts. So when you think about your LinkedIn profile and when you're posting content, I want you to think about it as a landing page, because the SEO value is so high. And I think that it's something that a lot of people don't talk about as much. And especially when it comes to your mobile presence as well. The term that I use all the time is above the fold, which you don't hear as much when it comes to LinkedIn. And it's usually something that you hear more when you're talking about Google or search results on another platform. But if you look at LinkedIn from your device, or even from your computer, there are certain key areas that you can optimize to make sure that when Google is crawling, that they pick up your profile. And also, if you go into the search bar on LinkedIn and you type in anything, you don't just get profiles, you don't just get job listings, you get content, you get people, you get events. So you can get any type of keyword you can possibly think of. So I look at LinkedIn now as a search engine, just like you would think of YouTube or Google or Bing. That's what LinkedIn has become. I mean, there's 1 billion members now. And the opportunity for everyone who's listening and watching this right now is massive, and it's for everyone. I saw a stat yesterday that came from Sales Navigator that said weekly, there is only 1.5% of LinkedIn members that are actively posting, only 1.5%. So what that means is that everybody has an opportunity to grow a brand, to grow a presence, and to be seen and heard on LinkedIn. That's what I took it as when I saw that, which is really exciting and awesome.
That's incredible.
Really
yeah.
It's really interesting to me, the number of people that actually like see and read and engage with content, but don't actually post too. So like,
right.
It's
a lot harder to do that. That's why.
Well, I think the thing about LinkedIn content is it didn't used to be there. And the open AI and some of the AI bots are now pulling stuff from all the social platforms. So Twitter used to be there, and they were trying to actually block Twitter. Elon Musk was trying to block Twitter, X, whatever it's called, from being scraped by the AI bots. But if you go out there now and you look, you'll find a bunch of Reddit comments. You'll find some Quora stuff that's kind of weird, but there's a lot of weird stuff on Quora. But you'll start finding LinkedIn stuff in there too. And that, to me, that's a game changer because we talked a little bit about whether or not your website would be your home or if you should have LinkedIn as your home, right? Depends on where you're picking up your business from. But as you're working on your personal brand, you've got to figure out where am I going to distribute my content so that it can be found either in search or by the audience that I'm trying to build. So yeah, LinkedIn's a neat one. That I saw several of those articles recently. I was like, that's cool.
And some people might not want to contact you through LinkedIn. And that's why it is important, if you are building a name for yourself, to have, even if it's just a website that has 2 pages on it with a lead form where you can start really quantifying your efforts on LinkedIn to see, is this working or not? I just wanted to say something, Jesse. There was someone in the comment that wrote SEO, and that's probably my Jersey accent, SEO, like search engine optimization. Not SEO.
I see it. David, we got you.
David, I'm sorry. It's SEO, search engine optimization.
And if you think building a website's hard, just tell ChatGPT to do it.
Right. And there's so many good options out there too that literally a 9-year-old could do.
Yeah.
That makes it so easy.
Yeah, that's point, click, drag, drop anymore. It's been easy for a long time, but it's really, really super easy now. I mean, really super easy. So yeah.
Absolutely. Well, I know that a lot of the people here in the comments want to know how to level up their LinkedIn brand. So I think we should probably, get into this a little bit more. But before we do, let's hear a quick message from our sponsors.
If you have a business or a side project, you need a virtual assistant. If you want free time or fun time, you need a virtual assistant. Virtual assistants can do everything from answering emails, managing your calendar, or even calling your mom. I run my own agency, I have e-commerce stores, and I still have time to travel, hang out with friends and family, and even pick up new hobbies because my virtual assistants take up my day-to-day work. If you're interested in trying out virtual assistant, play our game with Whiskey Wednesdays and enter the prize to see if you win 10 hours with one of our best virtual assistants. Thanks, Whiskey Wednesdays, for having us.
What's up, Whiskey Wednesday? Anish here from the Wishley Group. Super excited to be one of the brand new partners for this incredible community. Huge shout out to Jesse and team for what you built here. It's truly special, and I love being a part of it. For those of you who don't know who I am or why I'm here, I'm one of the founding members of Rev Genius. It took us from 0 to 5,000 members in just a few short months back when I was there. And now I get to work with folks like Morgan Ingram and Kevin Dorsey on scaling out their business operations. And that's exactly what the Wishley Group's about. We help small, medium-sized companies scale out their businesses by helping them out with sales and marketing efforts. That's really what we're about. And we know a lot of folks in this audience are those revenue professionals. You're either a founder, a marketer, a sales leader, or sales rep even. And we know that everyone has their own fair share of struggles. For those who don't know, I'm also ex-Pinterest and ex-Coca-Cola. I've worked on some of the biggest accounts in the world, closed $50 million in B2B high-ticket sales just myself. Jesse, I hope that's a fun enough contest for the crew. Really appreciate you having me here, and cheers, everybody. Have fun.
Hey, Whiskey Wednesday. This is Steven, and I'm one of the founders and CEO of Luna.ai. A bit about us. Luna is an all-in-one B2B sales platform, meaning that we're using AI to find your perfect leads, scour the entire internet to find every piece of information there is to find, and then use this information to write mind-blowing sales emails. And they're not just random emails, because Luna learns from all of your feedback and all of your preferences to write emails just like you would have done it yourself. And the best part is, as soon as you've trained Luna enough, you'll unlock autonomous mode, meaning that Luna will start reaching out to prospects on your behalf. Well, we are super excited to be part of Whiskey WinsDay, and we're looking forward to welcoming a few lucky viewers and have them win a premium account with us. And if you're not one of these lucky viewers, no problem at all, because we also have a free plan which you can use to take Luna for a spin. See you soon.
Big thanks to our sponsors. And I know we're going to talk a little bit more about LinkedIn and personal branding here toward the end, but let's get into our third topic real quick. Chris, empowering solopreneurs, leveraging machine learning for business growth. I know we were talking a little bit about this pre-show again, but can you kick us off with this conversation?
Yeah, so machine learning is it's an interesting tool that you can use, and this is probably it's going to be more relevant for individuals who are running e-commerce stores or who have stores that use a lot of information and data. It could be done in your CRM as well, so don't overlook the fact that you could do this within a CRM. Machine learning is a way to solve problems that you can't see, right? So we've had for years, everyone said attribution is a waste of time in marketing, and I keep telling people, I'm like, it's not a waste of time. You just don't know how to do it. And the reason why you don't know how to do it is you're trying to do it by looking at the data and saying, I can see these things. Machine learning doesn't do that. What machine learning does is says, you have 2 million variables that I can look at. I'm going to go through all those variables, figure out which ones are working together or trending apart at the same time, and say, these are what we call factors. And I'm going to break those factors down into different variables that then I can sit down and say, do we cluster people based on that? So machine learning will go out and look at information that you can't see. There's literally just too much of it for you to see the patterns, and it will identify those patterns for you. It doesn't mean that there will be one method for attributing sales or marketing. It's not one. There may be 12 or 100, but they're accurate. And what they'll do is say, people who enter a brand, at this point and go through these pieces of data or do these things tend to look like this. And oh, by the way, when they convert, this is what their value is. And so you can go back and say, what's the value of that path? Is it useful? Could be, might not be. It depends on what the value is of that customer. So when you look at it from a perspective of content and being able to analyze content and what you're producing and how it leads to whether or not people convert, I've seen a lot of different businesses where there are certain pieces of content that simply when people read it, they're like, yep, that does it. I worked with a management consultancy and they were doing something called the R factor. And when they explained to them just a couple of things about the R factor, they went, yeah, we need that in our business, right? They had a concept called no BCD, no blame, complain, defend. And as soon as they said those 3 words, people went, well, that's our business right now. So we need that, right? So they figured those things out. And simple articles, that BCD article is maybe 500 words. But in that 500 words, if you went through there was a very good chance that you were converting because you had that problem in your business. And so that's what some of machine learning will do for you. Machine learning that we're working on is going to be around how a customer engages on an e-commerce site and makes a purchase. So if you were going to go out and make a purchase on, say, Pottery Barn, we'll use Pottery Barn. And let's say it's a $1,200 chair and you want that chair, but you're like, you know what? I'd like to make an offer for that chair. I'm going to offer, $1,000. The machine learning will go in and say, 1, am I a new customer? Am I a recurring customer? Am I a stable customer? Have I defected? Have I reactivated? What kind of a customer am I? And based on that, go, what's the best deal? What is my goal with this customer? Do I want margin? Do I want revenue? What am I trying to do? Am I trying to move inventory? I just need these chairs out of here, so I'll take whatever offer you give me. And it will sit there and make decisions. So what it does is it looks at the rules and the guidelines that you provide. So if you say this week we need to make $800,000 in margin, it's going to go out and say, how do I optimize every offer that comes in here with the goal of hitting $800,000 in margin? And it'll do that. That's the machine learning element, because when you look at a shopping cart and your ability to look at all the variables that are in it in a transaction. We think there's something like 37 of them, if we remember right, anywhere from taxes, fees, shipping, etc. And there's a lot of combinations. And in some instances, for us, what we're trying to do is build a machine that will say, this is a new customer. And so what I really want, they've asked for 40% off. What I really want is to give them 25 or 30% off, but give them a coupon that will allow them to come back for the next transaction at a certain level. And so we'll be able to build those tools for them. And that's what we're working on with I Want That, is to give merchants the tools to engage customers at that point of sale based on inventory values that they have, or volumes that they have, based on pricing in the market, based on goals of revenue and margin performance in a week. That's machine learning in a nutshell. It's based on a bunch of rules that you define or that it will learn on and refine over time based on the experience it has with your data. And so what happens is, just like with any AI model, you train it. You train it, for us, we will take merchants and we'll sync back 3 years of their data, and we will train it to say, this customer shops and responds to offers, and this is their price point. And so you have a negotiation range that you can work with that customer. So if they come back and say, I want 70% off, you're going to go, that's not a realistic offer. We're going to decline that. Or you can counter offer and say, I can give you 40% off and 25% off your next purchase of $100 or more. What does that do? It gives me a goal of bringing you back again to make your second transaction, where most merchants need that. That's where you find out that you have a recurring customer. And so it satisfies different ways to, make the customer happy and also meet your goals. So
we have this question here, Chris. On the screen, Sarah Hanks is asking, are there any good low code / no code machine learning tools out there?
Low code, it depends on how you define code. There are some tools that are starting to emerge where you can do some machine learning that is low code. Most of that stuff is written by hand right now through Python, etc. But what's happening is they're creating libraries. And so just like when you write JavaScript and you write, like, I don't know if you know what React is, it's a JavaScript language. When you write React, you create components, and they're reusable components. Well, there's huge markets of components out there. So instead of you building, say, a date picker, there's a date picker out there, just pick it and use it, right? Those are components. And that's what's happening with a lot of these things in Python, R, and some of the other tools that they use to write some of the machine learning language. And so you'll find those components, pick them up and plug them into tools. Is there another low code one out there? Not that I'm aware of, not yet, but they're kind of trending that way, just in part because the AI models, like the LLMs where you talk to them, they're kind of learning this stuff along with you. And so like you take your Python code, you teach, the chat GPT or whatever you're using to understand how that works. And then they can just recreate it. And then you can say, can you extrapolate from that? And they can. And so it just depends on what you're trying to accomplish with your machine learning efforts. But it is definitely one of the tools. They include things like linear programming, factor analysis, cluster analysis, Markov tools. There's a lot of different statistical methods that can be applied for you to sit down and figure out what is going to get a customer to convert and me reach my goals. And so you're going to see a lot more of that. You'll see more of it coming into where you'll be able to sit down in your store and say, this week I need to make $85,000 in gross margin. How do I do that? And it'll go back and say, well, this is your inventory position. Here are all the consumers you have that haven't purchased and are likely to purchase in the next week. Here's what offers you should accept for them. And oh, by the way, we happen to have this group of consumers out here who haven't purchased there, but have an interest in products that you have, and you can promote to them through our app, and that should get you to your number, right? That's what we're trying to build. We're trying to build tools that help merchants grow, and we use the machine learning to do that, and also give consumers the ability to manage the offers that they want to make better decisions on how they buy. So it's definitely, it's an interesting world. There's a lot in it. And without the machine learning, there's no way we could do this. No way at all. Because there's a lot of variables. When you get into e-commerce and retail and things like that, I mean, you'll have 10,000 columns of data. I can't see all that. The machine can.
The power back in the buyer's hands, Chris.
It is. I mean, the reason why we call it I Want That is, I mean, you've seen somebody walk by and I'm like, man, I want that. I would really like to buy that. And that was the whole thing. And we kind of laughed about it. So the way that we're going to go to market is we're probably going to focus a little bit on Gen Z, the digital natives, because you'll be able to manage those offers in a mobile app. We were going to release it this month, but we have a couple things that we're making to improve it. But you'll be able to negotiate through a mobile app. So you'll send your offers out, get it back, decide if you like it, counter back if you want to. You'll be able to manage that. And eventually, our goal is you'll be able to transact there. You'll be able to pay for it through your digital wallet and check out. You'll never have to go back to that site again. And so that's the vision. We're trying to make it easier for consumers to find the things that they want at the price that they want and the value they want. Simple as that, right?
Very cool.
Piece of cake.
Have you heard of anything like this, Melanie, with machine learning and AI?
I listened to Lex Friedman's podcast, the AI podcast that he has.
Definitely.
And I do listen to some of it. I definitely don't even know enough to be dangerous or to have an intelligent conversation and to follow up anything after Chris just spoke. But it is definitely something that, as I recognize that I need to know more about it, it's definitely important. If you have your own business, I mean, I'm thinking to myself as Chris is talking, for myself, even with our community, that I wonder if there's a way that we can start incorporating it even on our website. So that's the things that are going through my head as I'm listening to Chris.
Yeah, even in communities, you'll look at content and you'll see trends that are going on in content. Then you can take people who are commenting and engaging on it, do cluster analysis, say, these people come from these backgrounds, they come from these backgrounds, to go, here's what their engagement, here's the sentiment that they're sharing when they engage. And that's what those computers do. They learn from seeing what you do, and you keep feeding it, and it just keeps getting smarter. That's why they call it machine learning. It learns as it goes. So the more you feed it, the better it gets.
Yeah.
The more we find the models.
You guys, we still have some time to enter for these prizes. Sorry to jump in. I just want to point out, make sure you enter. I know the comments are being weird, but we don't have very many entries. So yeah, jump in there.
I've gotten some text messages actually that people can't comment on LinkedIn. So if that is you, then head on over to Facebook or YouTube. You can enter to win for the prizes on Facebook or YouTube. The tool works with those too, so I'll grab your names from there. But otherwise, you can still enter to win on LinkedIn if it's working for you. Sarah, I see you are on YouTube. You can see the little like icon next to their name there in the comments. But yeah, lots of hot prizes, which, speaking of, Melanie and Chris, both of you are giving away a prize tonight. So if people enter #sales, which 6 people have so far, do you want to share a little bit about, what people are going to win if they get this prize?
So I have a boat tote. It says the Borden Group on it. It's amazing. We all use them all day long. It is amazing, high quality canvas, not Canva, canvas. And I also have some Borden Group pens to give away.
Very cool. Thank you so much for sharing that. And how about you, Chris?
So Commerce Academy is something that we're building for I Want That. And the reason why is one of the things that we found out is that it's so easy to start selling online that you actually don't know how to sell online. And one of the narratives that we are putting forward is that e-commerce is basically unidirectional and transactional. So it's boring. That means it's easy to quit, which is why people say, wow, I can't get people to convert. So Commerce Academy is designed to teach people how to be a retailer. And it's going to talk about profit models and how to look at customers and manage a customer portfolio. We finished all of our videos. I still have lesson plans I'm putting in there, so we're almost done with it. But yeah, you'll have access to Commerce Academy, and you'll know everything you need to know about running a retail business from start to finish.
I love that, Chris. Thank you so much for sharing. And now we've got one last topic, and we have to give away these prizes, which, by the way, there's 5 entries on prize 1, 2 entries on prize 2, 2 entries on prize 3, 2 entries on prize 4, 3 on 5, 5 on 6, 2 on 7, and 12 on 8. That's the one for Melanie and Chris. So there's still a lot of room. Go ahead.
You can enter to win more than one prize, just to clarify.
Yes, you absolutely can. So definitely enter to win those prizes. We'll give those away. But who here wants to learn more about LinkedIn? I know I would love to hear from you in the comments. Have you been having issues commenting on LinkedIn? Is that you? Are you on YouTube now, or are you on Facebook now? Because I'm definitely getting DMs and text messages from people who are struggling on LinkedIn. So would love to hear what your experience is like. And then also, let's move into 4. So the secret to LinkedIn's potential, Melanie. I always learn from you, and I also help people learn on LinkedIn. So if that goes to tell you anything, Melanie is definitely one of those people to follow if you haven't followed her yet. But you share an incredible amount of knowledge. So what is the overall secret if you had to sum that up in 5 minutes?
So one of the secrets that's not so secret that I have found is to make your profile easy for someone to understand who you are, what you do, who you work with, or the industry that you work in, and the results that you provide. 9 times out of 10, when I look at someone's LinkedIn profile, and we do audits of profiles every single week, is I have no idea what they do. And this is something that over time, it makes it easier to learn. But there's a couple features that I wanted to just quickly mention about your profile before I give a quick tactic that we also find to be really helpful. Number one, everyone has an opportunity to make a first impression on LinkedIn. And whether you're looking for new employment or whether you're looking for clients, you have all these moments of opportunity from the second someone comes onto your profile. So that could be your banner, that could be in your name pronunciation. This is a big one that people don't realize. Everyone has something called a name pronunciation on their profile. And in mobile, you go in, you can make a change to it. It's right at the top. You click the little pencil when you go to edit your profile, and you can have either a 10-second pitch, you can have a 10-second introduction, you can talk about an event that you're doing, a service that you have, etc. It's an underutilized feature on your profile. Another area that I would strongly recommend is your headline. Your headline should reflect a few things, and this is totally subjective, but in my opinion and experience, your headline should reflect what you do, who you do it for, and the results that you get. You should have multiple moments on your profile that make it easy for someone to contact you. So LinkedIn has a feature where you can go in and you can make an edit where you can have your website, your email address. It's in your contact info. So that's the first spot that you want to have your information. And a lot of people don't realize that you can also have your birthday. And especially if you're a BDR, you are already on the phone and you're talking to people and you're emailing and you're interacting with people. Put your birthday in there. It gives someone an opportunity to contact you to say happy birthday. And if they're a prospect, it's an opening to have a conversation with them. And your about section should tell a story. And I see so many about sections, and it should be a story about what you do, who you do it for, the results that you get, and another way that someone can contact you. So that should be the second moment where someone can put in their website and their email address. And it's just having these moments where you have an opportunity to stick out. Also, and Jesse, you do an amazing job of this on your profile is amazing. I use it as an example all the time, from your banner to your profile photo. When someone is on LinkedIn in the comment section, they notice people who are commenting. But if you have a pop of color behind your profile photo, it's easier for you to stand out. And I see people all the time commenting, and if they have a bright color, I notice them quicker. So if you have a color within your color palette, and you can go to coolers.co and find your own color palette and go into Canva and put a color behind your profile photo, it's a great way for you to stand out. And your banner is another place where it's a great place to stand out. You can use it for a couple different areas. If you have an event, you can have it synchronized with the rest of your team and have the event there. You can promote a service. You can have some social proof there, right? So the social proof could be like Jessie has, where she's been featured, or you can have a client testimonial, or if you have a book that just came out, you can have information about your book, or you can have some sort of a call to action, like book a call with me today. But when you look at someone's profile, I always look above the fold, which is what I see on my phone and then what I see on my screen when I go onto someone. And these are just some quick things. These are quick fixes that if you make a list, you can just check one off, over the next couple of weeks before the start of the new year. You can take the last couple of weeks of the year and just each week, just make one of those changes. And then by the start of the new year, you're going to have an optimized profile that is completely standing out against everyone else.
I love that. Thank you so much for sharing. And I
Of
don't know,
course.
I need to maybe test with a color on the back of mine. I have a hot pink suit, but maybe I need a purple background.
Any pops of color. You have the beautiful pink blazer. And anytime that you have color, it makes you stand out.
It does. I agree.
It really does.
100%.
The shine on my head makes me stand out, so I'm okay with that.
What was that, Chris?
The shine on my head makes me stand out. I can't see with that. Actually, one of the other interesting things too is when you're networking on LinkedIn and you're following people, LinkedIn does a very good job of saying you might want to follow these other people. And for me, I've been following a lot of VC people because there's an obvious reason for me to follow VC people right now. And I happen to connect to a guy, his name is Rex Woodbury, and Rex has this great digital native newsletter. Well, he wrote this thing on Substack, sent it out to me, and it was basically, these are the kinds of companies that we're trying to invest in. I'm like, oh, that's us. So I was like, huh. So all of a sudden there's a connection there, right? And we got connected through the newsletter. So that may be happening with us in the near future. But it's as simple as those things where you're starting to follow people. LinkedIn will recommend to other people that you should look at too. And he was right on that list. So.
And a topic that, Jesse, that you and I have talked about before is, what do you do if you're working somewhere and you can't post content? What do you do? Or maybe you're looking for a new place of employment. Find the companies that you're looking to potentially work at or that you're interested in a specific industry. Go onto their company page, look at all the people that work for them, find the leadership team and start following them and start interacting with their profile. Anyone can do this. And you can comment. I've seen people comment their way to building an audience, because the more you comment, the more people will see you. And if you have similar networks, or if you're in a similar industry, or if you're in the same industry, I should say, not a similar industry, but if you're in the same industry, other people will see you, and then you can take it from the comment section to the DM, which can lead to a whole host of other opportunities. I mean, Jesse, if you look at us, I mean, you and I were connected on LinkedIn. We've interacted a bunch in the comments. We followed each other, DMs, and we've done a bunch of these podcasts together ever since. And you just never know when you follow someone what that could result in. And if they're following you and you're posting and you're also interacting with them in the DM, they're going to see your posts. So it's in your best interest to have conversations with people and just get to know them at a human level. And I know it's not easy to do that, especially when everything is virtual, but provide someone something that would be helpful. Maybe they did a post about machine learning, and then you go and listen to Lex Friedman's podcast on machine learning and say, hey, I listened to Lex talk about X, Y, and Z. Have you listened to this podcast yet? Just to kind of open up the conversation. And it's things people overcomplicate it by thinking, what should I say? And they end up pitch slapping someone, and then we don't want that in the DMs. So just be yourself, be a human, and just think strategically if you're looking to leave where you are, or if you're looking to potentially get new clients, and connect, follow, and just start interacting with people, just like you're at a cocktail party or a networking event.
Yes, and don't pitch slap. Absolutely.
No, we don't want that.
No. That's how you'll be the pattern interrupt, is by being that person who isn't pitch slapping. So I like to tell participants in the Taking Up Space program to be the person to acknowledge people. Everyone's underappreciated, in sales and marketing. If you can be that person to leave them with an experience, right? They may not remember what you do, what they say, but they remember how you make them feel. So be that person who can find the good in anyone and acknowledge them for that. So we actually even do that as an exercise, and it'd be like, Lydia, you know what? I really appreciate you for just showing up all the time. And, you tried super hard, you put all your effort into finding a job, and look at you, queen. You found an amazing job, and I am so proud of you. And, it's just that's the exercise, is you find something to say that's nice about someone. But I don't know how I got off on that tangent, but we have places to get away.
Let's go.
I really am proud of you though, Lydia. Do you want to share anything about your new position that you got?
Oh my gosh. Maybe it's why I'm kind of a little bit not here. You know how it is the first week of a new job. It's just like you're a sponge and absorbing as much as possible. And I've been getting up early after 2 months of maybe not so early. But yeah, I joined Acral Data, which is doing some really cool stuff with metadata and really just, I'm still learning, obviously, but what I've seen so far, our founders built some amazing stuff in the open source community. They started the Data Hub project. So I could go on forever. If you want to chat about it, ping me. But yeah, it was, what got me the job, because some people have asked, was posting weekly about my results, like you said, Melanie, what I do, who I do it for, and what the results have been. And I got a ton of interviews that way and met my new boss and built a relationship with him. And here we are.
You really did get a ton of interviews. I was really impressed by.
Girl, I was taking like 3 to 5 a day. It was insane.
So if anyone needs advice, like definitely reach out to Lydia on that.
Network is everything. That's what I'm going to tell you.
There's so much power in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You control your destiny and you can do it through LinkedIn.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. I'm a big fan of LinkedIn. But let's give away some prizes. So really quick, we've got hashtag marketing with 5 entries, Cherry Assistant. So that is the 30 minutes with DJ that has 2 entries. We've got 2 entries for Buzz Builder, which includes Lydia's cold email course. Buzz Builder has 6 months free. I'm booking calls every day with Buzz Builder. They're sending cold emails for me.
It's a really cool tool. You guys jump in on that before it's too late. Seriously.
Definitely. And then you get 10 hours.
Reach out to find a job. Like, it's going to help you do mass outreach.
Yeah. So you get mass outreach, you get the course, Lydia's course on cold email, and you get 10 hours of virtual assistant, like any task you want. They didn't put a specific task on it. So definitely work with Cherry Assistant on that. So that's prize 3. We've got 2 entries there. And then we also only have 2 entries on the Wishly group. So if you would like 30 minutes with a niche, definitely tag the Wishly group. But I'm going to go ahead and get us started and share the screen here.
Let's go.
Let's give away some prizes. So prize 1, looks like I got them a little bit out of order. So I'm going to start with hashtag marketing. We've got 5 entries. Who's it going to be? Is it Seth, Sergio, Precious? Who's going to win? Seth, congratulations. You're going to be in the Taking Up Space program, 1 week free. I'm so excited to have you in there. And you also get Kiwi Writer. So congratulations to you, Seth. And actually, let me go ahead and put the page up on the website. If you win tonight, just go to reveting.com/winner to share your details, and we will connect you with the brands. So let me give away prize 2. Prize 2 is Cherry Assistant. Here we go. 2 entries. It's Lydia or Jamie.
I just put my name in so you could draw. So Jamie gets it by default.
Going to you, Jamie. Yay! Congratulations, Jamie. Go to reveting.com/winner. We'll collect your details and connect you with the brand. Let's do this. So who's it going to be for 3? Buzz Builder. Okay, so we've got Carrie, Jamie, and Sahar. Hard to read. Oh, congratulations, Sahar. If you could please go to reveting.com/winner, fill out the form. We'll collect your details and connect you with the brands. Let me make sure and take this thing off here because we're covering up faces. Don't want to do that. And then we'll
sit down like this.
There's like a bazillion things going on, right?
I'm like,
prize for Luna.ai. Who's going to get the Grove cookies and Luna.ai for 3 months? Carrie, Jeremy, Melinda, Sahar. Jeremy, congratulations. Again, reveting.com/winner, or Renee will be reaching out to you. I'm going to just keep it moving. Hashtag email. Who's going to get it? There's Dan, Melinda. Or
Dan Manning. Yes, Dan. Hi.
Hi, Dan. Thanks for being here. Congratulations, Melinda.
Melinda.
Yay, Melinda.
Yay, Melinda.
Yes. And we've got just a few more before we've ended up with the guru of the week here in just a moment. So who's getting the headset? Is it Sarah, Renee, Jeremy, Chris, Sahar? Chris! Congratulations, Chris. You are going to get a headset from Headset Advisor. Headset Advisor is awesome. I'm so excited for you. Whoa, what just happened there? I was trying to share my screen and I just took off my camera. So we've got the Wishly group. Give this one away. 2 entries. There's Brandy or Sahar. Who's going to meet with Anish this week? Brandy? Oh, Sahar! Tonight is your lucky night. You should probably go buy a lottery ticket because you want to. And then I think we have given them all away except the last one, just triple checking. So hashtag sales, we've got 14 entries. Oh man, I'm not going to try to name all of those names, but we'll see who is it going to be for Brandy. Congratulations, you're winning Melanie and Chris's prize tonight.
Yay, Brandy!
Yay, Brandy! Brandy is awesome. But let me turn the music down and let's do the guru of the week. We haven't gotten into the guru of the week. Ooh, ooh. Okay, so I'm losing my voice. Oh my gosh, we're 13 minutes over. So we went on and on about personal branding and AI, but we didn't yet share who our gurus of the week were. So Chris, could you start off and tell us about Sam on the screen?
Sam is probably one of the greatest geniuses in marketing out there right now. The guy knows everything about B2B marketing. He's a rock star when it comes to analyzing campaigns and marketing initiatives. And the scary thing is he reminds me of me. He thinks like I do, which he does it. When he gets an answer, he asks why, not this is the answer. He asks, why is that the answer? And that to me is one of the reasons why he's such a smart guy. He's really a good guy. If you don't follow Sam, you need to follow Sam. He knows a lot about marketing right now. One of the best.
That's awesome. And Melanie, could you please share a little bit about Melinda, who's been in the comments tonight?
Yes, Melinda and I met on LinkedIn. I had originally put out an ad for a freelance writer last October, and she worked with me on a project. And then she came to work for me full time this year when I decided to start hiring people to work for me. And she is not only an unbelievably talented writer and salt of the earth, unbelievable person, but she is also an unbelievably talented designer and artist. She doesn't talk a lot about her art on LinkedIn, but she is by far also a genius. She is one of the most talented people I have ever met in my life. I mean, she is just unbelievable. And I love Melinda. She is amazing. And you should follow her too. And she's had the craziest growth on LinkedIn this year. It's been so fun to watch and to see her grow in real life too, other than her, amazing LinkedIn growth, but seeing the real life growth is really cool too.
Oh man, that's awesome. Well, definitely go follow both of them. If you could in the comments, tag them if LinkedIn is working, or did LinkedIn break? Who knows?
No.
It does this on the live stream. I don't know. It doesn't have like the best live stream.
Whiskey WinsDay broke it. You broke LinkedIn.
Yeah, I guess so. Maybe that's the case. But thank you both so much for being here tonight. We do have the after party. Would love to have you. No pressure. I know it's late, but if you can come, it's reveting.com/afterparty, and that'll just redirect you to a Zoom link. But would love to have you all coming. Before we take off, we'll start with you, Chris. Could you please share with our listeners how they could connect with you after the show?
You can connect with me on LinkedIn. Most of my contact information there. I usually have an email address up there too. If you actually look at my contact, it's there, which may or may not be a wise thing to do. But feel free to reach out to me there, and I'll post. If you just send me a direct message, I can send you my phone number if you want to sit and talk, or if you want to just do a meet or whatever. I'm open to anytime you want to talk about AI and machine learning, or even no code. The no code stuff is phenomenal right now. It's really, really good.
Yes. And how about you, Melanie? How can everyone reach out to you?
Same, through LinkedIn. You can just look me up. I the only Melanie Borden I know of that's here in the US. So Melanie Borden on LinkedIn. All my contact info is there if you want to book some time with me on my calendar. I also set up my Calendly directly on my LinkedIn profile. So reach out, ask me questions. I am an active DMer, commenter on the platform. I am pretty easy to contact and I respond to my DMs. I don't have someone else responding for me. And thank you so much again for having me on again. I really appreciate it.
It's actually saying a lot. Like, honestly, for someone who has 173,000 plus followers, you are still responding as you. And I know that I appreciate that. Like, you're a real genuine human. So thank you, Melanie, for that, for being a leader. Because, you know, I reach out to a lot of these gurus out there on LinkedIn and it's not actually them and I can't get to them. So I definitely appreciate people like you and you as well, Chris. You're here locally, so we have to set up coffee sometime soon again. But until
Melanie
next,
comes into town, we got there's lots of good coffee for us downtown.
I'll keep you guys posted when I'm in Columbus because I feel it's coming soon. So I'd love to get together with you guys then.
we would love
good.
that. Well, we'll have to grab dinner or something more than
Yes.
coffee if you
Yes.
come to town, and maybe we'll stream it live like you.
And maybe it'll be on a Wednesday night.
Look, he's eating. Oh, yay.
Well, if anyone is still up and they want to hang out, head on over to reveting.com/afterparty. Otherwise, thank you again, both, so much for being here.
So
and yes, we'll see you next week.
Thanks.